Hello, it's 11:08 a.m. in the morning. So, okay, the perps ran me off YouTube, okay? And I'm feeling kind of nervous because I have a meeting with a potential employer. I don't even know if I'll get the job opportunity. I hope I do get it. And I won't have to ask for anything, trying to survive. But, I'm going to just, take not all of my videos, but most of them, and, just put them on private for my personal records. Because I'm done with trying very hard to convince people the truth and convince them that I'm a real targeted individual. Wow, just see noise harassment out there. I'm just playing, but wow, everything just all of a sudden got a little loud. But I'm just playing. You can't control sneezing, but I'm just joking. But that could have been an over-exaggerated fake sneeze, but that probably was a genuine sneeze. But, sometimes I try to make a few jokes here and there and try to make light of or some humor out of my targeting, and seem like people don't get it, so my intentions are always, I know perps deliberately and on purpose twist everything, and just try to make me out to just look like the worst person in the world. So I quit this. I quit trying to reach out for other targets. People who are supposedly targeted, they can go from telling you you're a beautiful soul, you're chosen by God, God is protecting you, and and saying that you got people who care about you, and then turn around and stab me in the back. Or go out of their way to be supportive and then turn against me. So everybody who has videos up about me speaking negatively against me, they're all perps. None of them are genuinely targeted. Whoever's hanging out with my twin sister, you're all perps. None of y'all targeted. So I'll just let the truth expose itself, and let God expose the truth. Let time expose the truth. And y'all gonna remember this video. And I'm gonna leave up a few videos to show that I'm not playing, I'm not lying, I'm not deceiving. This is some of my gang stalking evidence. So I've been frustrated and going through stuff, and that does not mean that I'm going to hell for sure, and that there's no more hope for me and my fate is sealed. And then y'all think y'all have the authority to dictate that, Candy will never change. Y'all have y'all think y'all are God over my life. I've exposed the in-person and online harassment and abuse. And I just don't owe people an answer, a whole bunch of online strangers, an answer for what goes on in my life. And then when you say stuff like that, they'll falsely be like, oh yeah, that's proof that Candy on some shady stuff and stuff like that. No, it's like, you don't have a right to meddle in my personal life. You don't have a right to meddle in my personal life after I blocked y'all. And I don't know if I need to find a different platform where I can just get away from my twin sister and her cult followers. Try to find a different platform where I can continue expressing myself. Either that or just quit showing videos since nobody's listening to me, nobody's paying attention. I mean, I was ignored on Instagram, Twitter, my blog, and Facebook. And the popular fakes, they, scratch each other's backs. Some people in the targeted individual community, they say that we deserve and we are entitled to reparations under human trafficking. But none of us targeted individuals, we're not getting these reparations for human trafficking. There is a such thing as electronic rape, electronic torture, and abuse. That's murdering people silently. I'm gonna look straight in the camera with the straight face and tell y'all, Candy Grandpre is not crazy. Candy Grandpre is telling y'all 100% truth. As I said in one of my other videos, people act like as if they see my proof and evidence and still separate themselves from me, like as if, I don't even know what's one of the worst things to describe myself. If everybody avoid me like the plague, and I'm disappointed because if we're all social outcasts or pariahs, I thought that we can all stick together. But I know what's the reason why targeted individuals can't get along, why we can't stick together. Because, if I find out that another targeted individual, even if they are genuinely targeted, and then they practice witchcraft, then I realized, I can't hang with you. I'm talking about over the phone or online. I cannot associate with you. Or if you're into the new age, there's people who claim they're rich and they claim to be targeted individuals, and they say that they're like an energy healer, and they turn around to act just like a perp. Or they claim to be targeted and act just like a perp. And talk about how they're sabotaged and destroyed and everything like that, And so they have some people who profess to be Christian and targeted, and they dabble into the occult and new age. I had to learn the truth and find out to, I did not know any better. I grew up in a new age Masonic, a new age Masonic cult that I'm thankful every day that I broke away from them. I'm glad to have broken away from psychiatry and mental health system. So I want that. I was thinking while I was eating breakfast this morning, and I was thinking about, when I came over here. When I was over there, I was thinking of all the things to think in this video, since it's gonna be my final one for sure. Because I would give up and then turn around and go back and do videos again. I don't want to give up on God. I don't want to be turned away from God. I want to continue fighting. I want to continue to be a Christian and better myself as a Christian. All things are possible with God, So I know that a lot of us sin out of anger when we shouldn't. None of us are perfect, but one can point fingers and judge and condemn. And I'm just tired of being stalked, followed, and harassed. And, the false slander campaigns that the real TIs are believing what the straight up perps are saying about me to discredit me. And it's like targeted individuals are following certain perps after they've made videos full of lies about me, and those people are not even targeted at all. Y'all under some strong delusion and strong deception. And I try what I can whenever it's available, or whenever I'm able to, I try what I can to try to help others with what knowledge and resources that I have. But, people can't dismiss me totally as a loser, a lost cause, and, falsely accusing me of defrauding and stuff like that, when it's just a complicated, strange way to be forced to live. To be tortured out of your house with directed energy weapons, and you know, blocked from employment or even self-employment, blocked from doing something productive. Um, each target, goes through something that varies. Just because you get V2K does not mean I'm not a real target. You might get V2K, but you may not have to deal with one headlight red cars following you everywhere. And some targets, if they are really targeted, if they are truly targeted, sometimes they think that because a person doesn't, that a person's targeting isn't as strong, then they'll doubt that person and say, well, okay, this person is fake. But the Bible says you will know them by their fruits. Now, I have been perked by people who are actually showing footage of themselves being targeted, what makes me scratch my head and confused and wonder what's going on here. I don't really change, unless it's for the better. I at least attempt to change. I'm usually, my personality is pretty much consistent. I don't really switch up on anybody unless, I find out you're somebody dirty, something crooked with you, then, or if you did something to violate or disrespect me, then, I feel like I have difficulty holding in my feelings, so I have to express, what's bothering me. So, even back in 2019, I've heard that people say that over 97% of people who say that they're targeted, especially on YouTube, they're all the popular fake, YouTube and Facebook especially, and I got some fakes on Twitter as well. And a lot of them, some of them say that they're Christian and they have interest in the esoterics and occult and evil and stuff. And I mean, they might do it out of ignorance and don't know. So I'm not going to try to judge them, but they know what they're doing. I don't want to judge or condemn them, and I don't go try to tell them nothing. I just, stay away. So I don't go around like people do to me. I don't go around trying to tell people how to live their life. And I have to deal with, having no support, no family, friends, no job, no car, no house or apartment or something. I mean, I've heard targeted individuals even struggle dealing with living off the grid. Me, I guess to solve the problem of me being banned from everywhere, living off the grid, is that an option? I don't have a vehicle to transport myself, or if I have to just walk super far to go off the grid and just be away from society, away from the urban life. But I don't know what location to go to off the grid. And, I was supposed to go to that Satoshi forest, but I got let down about that. It's like a homeless camp, but I heard it's supposedly safe and it's overseen by somebody. So I have to deal with the sleep deprivation, the vibrating, My mind drew a blank. My body swelling, attacks, energy attacks to my head, drones monitoring me, like hovering over me at night, way in the sky that looks like an over exaggerated, bigger fake wannabe star. Y'all see the one headlights and the funny headlights. I get the online cyber harassment, people trying to discredit me, people trying to force me to see a psychiatrist and take medication, saying I'm crazy and that I've been through abuse growing up. So I'm scared about my survival if this is my last video, because how am I going to reach out to people for help? But more and more people are slandering and smear campaigning me and brainwashing others to not help me when I know that I'm legit and genuine. As I said, with the exception of me, my stuff got stolen. That was the only time I begged for money when I was working within the past couple of months. And it was on an emergency, situation. But, I'm back to being unemployed and trying to get another job and trying to figure out how it's going to work, or if I even get the job. And is it possible with work alone? Is it possible for me I already told y'all that the landlords will not accept you. They want 3.5 times the rent. These agencies deter me from help, or they block me from help. These whatever agencies that are supposed to help me get housing. I've been on one housing list for all these months, a couple of years. And so I'm being faulted and blamed for things that's not my fault, and me being sabotaged and further abused and blamed, and then people try to say that I'm not a victim and I'm just playing a victim, when it's actually the perps did put us targeted individuals in our situations. But the fact that I'm still doing videos and fighting against the perps, I'm made to look like a loser because everybody else decided to be tight-lipped, and now they're driving in their cars with a deceitful looking smile on their face, talking about how the Lord is good and glorifying themselves as empowered individuals and stuff like that. Driving in beautiful, nice cars, and have a decent house. They say that they run their own business and say that they're targeted, and I'm like, well, if I reach out to them and I try to ask, well, hey, is it possible, can you help me on some pointers or tips, or how I can run my own business, or how I can have my own business, or just some opportunities of what I can do. But I know I cannot handle up north or west coast. Like, I don't want to live any farther north than the state of Georgia. Atlanta is off limits for me. I don't want to go to Atlanta. And I don't want to go any farther west than my hometown, New Orleans. Yeah, I know I'm limiting myself, but I cannot function in cold weather. And I know even if it's not in Pensacola, I know that they gotta have some places here in Florida. They got to. I try to go to Mobile, Alabama. It's rough to be homeless out there. That they'll criminalize you for being homeless there. You can't go to homeless shelters. I have been warned that I know homeless shelters are exploitative prison scam cults. Exploitative prison scam cults. So, other people said, watch out, that homeless shelters make you more vulnerable to being, abduction and organ trafficking, organ harvesting, organ trafficking or organ harvesting. or sex trafficking or sacrifice. And it's horrific. Last night I read a story about a female who's a Christian, and she was sex trafficked into Dubai and nearly killed. This is no game. This is what they're doing to us. They're electronically and physically trying to kill us. And I feel angry and upset that I can't have as much of the free speech that I would like to have. So much censorship. You know, if I was fake or a liar, I would not be censored. People would not be trying to silence me or shut me up. People would not slander me or try to, turn everybody against me and then try to, I had to learn on my own that if somebody, even if it's a whole bunch of people saying something bad about a person, you got to do it. You got to judge that person based on your own personal experiences with them, not with just what people are saying. Because they can have a whole bunch of people come against you, and a whole bunch of people, believe in lies and stuff. So here's my the people from my meeting, they're coming. This is my last video, but I want to say that if y'all wanted to donate, my information is in the description box. If y'all wanted to help, I'm trying to raise money to get housing or a home, a warm home, a place to live, at least before November. Before November, please, I'm praying for donations and help for a roof over my head, a place to live, even if it's a tiny little cottage or a tiny house, just something small that I can live in, that I won't have to be getting banned from anywhere. And also, if people can be supportive of my ebooks, I have my ebooks, and also please research The Truth and my Truth DVD for Christians. Please download those. Please download The Truth DVD for Christians, and take the time and research and look at almost pretty much everything in my description box of all of my YouTube videos. Well, the one below, even in this video, look at the description box, because as I said, I'm done reaching out for help. I know I'm sincere, and I have just a tiny bit of money, but by maybe the end of tomorrow or by Monday, I might be like penniless. But I'm not being reckless or living a luxury in life. I'm struggling and on the verge of starving, hungry. So I gotta go. I'll see y'all. Thank you. Thank you for the ones who still stuck with me. I want to say before I go, the ones who still stuck with me, please, any videos that aren't public, remember my videos that I've done. In the future, if anything happened to me, that I get murdered or I die, remember what you saw on my videos. Remember what you saw. And please, I would like for somebody to stick up for me.